I'm Charlie Spangers. I'm the CEO of Berd Spokes and also one of the co-founders of the company. As avid cyclists, we had this idea to make a spoke that was lightweight, something that that was flexible, that people had never done before, and we had that idea to start this company as we were finishing our PhDs. And we started in 2015 to use advancements in material science to create innovative bike products. And our first product is our Berd spoke that we invented and is made out of a polymer instead of steel. So the spokes are a braided fiber. It's totally different than what exists. And the spokes themselves, when they're not in a wheel, are flexible. It doesn't seem like they should work as a bicycle spoke, because you would expect that a spoke might have to be rigid. But once you put it into a wheel, even a flexible material, once you put tension on it, it works exactly the same as a normal steel spoke. And the innovation on the actual spokes themselves is the connection between the steel rod and the polymer fiber. That connection relies on the finger trap effect, because it's a braided fiber, and the harder you pull, actually the stronger that gets. So that innovation, that connection between the stainless steel and the braided fiber is what enabled our spokes to be able to be used in bicycle wheels. They're extremely lightweight, so they're less than half the weight of steel spokes. What we didn't know when we first invented them was that the vibration damping that they give, the smooth ride that they give compared to steel spokes, is actually now the biggest benefit that people appreciate. And it's not just Olympians and racers who appreciate it, it's also recreational riders.
Berd Spokes actually was started in a dorm room, and by these two individuals, and Dr. Charlie Spanier is one of those individuals who I worked with quite closely on that NSF Phase II proposal. And they just grew from the dorm room, and they have gone from a couple employees up to I think 20 employees now, and they have a facility in Hopkins, and they sell their spokes all over the world. The other thing that I would say about Berd is that they had to collaborate with the University of Minnesota to help develop that technology, and that's a really critical piece to any of a company that's looking at NSF funding. You have to have the academic support to be competitive with that particular agency.
The process for making our spokes is not a traditional metal stamping process or injection molding process. There was nobody in the world that was making anything like our spokes, so we had to develop our own manufacturing that was totally different than what existed, and it required a lot of R&D to do that. The only way for us to do that was to work with Minnesota SBIR to be able to write a proposal and then get funding from the National Science Foundation. Through our sales, we started selling bicycle wheels also, and we realized that the process for producing wheels is a very time-consuming, difficult process. So we started working on automated machines using what we learned from the entire grant process, all of those skills of building automated machines, and then we applied that knowledge to creating a brand new machine called a bicycle wheel truing machine. So that's what this machine is here. It's called Trudy, and we just launched it commercially earlier this spring. What this machine does is it automates the process for building wheels. So it gives any person the ability to true and build bicycle wheels without having any knowledge of doing that in the first place, and people can do it much more efficiently and with much less training than it would normally take. The amazing thing about SBIR funding, the type of funding that you'd get through MNSBIR, is that it's non-dilutive for the company, and it funds very high-risk research at a time when you typically wouldn't have revenue to be able to support getting other types of funding. I think that Minnesota benefits hugely from making these investments in companies, because ultimately it's a one-time investment that Minnesota has made through the MNSBIR to help us get started through this program. And without that, I don't think our company would exist today. By existing today, we employ 20 employees here in Hopkins. So, all of those employees are making salaries, they're spending money back into the local economy, they're paying taxes, all of those things. And we're continuing to attract employees. We're able to do our manufacturing here versus, for example, doing that manufacturing in Asia where a lot of bicycle components are made.